Welcome to the Mark Jackson Show. I'm Mark Jackson. This is my dynamic co-host, my guy Bluu. Bluu, it's the 4th edition of the Night Mode, covering playoff basketball. Tell me what you think about it, what you like about it.
What I like about it, what you mean, what's not to like? I feel like I'm in outer space right now. You don't see this? You don't see it?
Yeah, I see your background. I'm a little jealous. I'm hating. You see my
I'm
background.
not talking about my background. I'm talking about the Night Mode, man. I'm looking at the graphics. You don't see the asteroids and the stars in the background?
Outstanding work. Shout out our guy, Jeff Anderson, who's the head guy.
We got to work on your
job.
imagination. We got to work on your imagination, man.
My bad.
Anyways, my bad. Let me not step on Jeff. Shout out Jeff. Continue. My bad.
No, go ahead. You just that's all he need. We don't want to walk around with swag on 1,000.
All right, man. Let's thank our sponsors that keep the lights on. Shouts out to Underdog Fantasy. Scan the QR code in the corner. It'll take you right to the site and play the Pick'em game. That's our favorite, man. What you think about the games tonight, man? It was a lot of good games.
It's a fun time, just chilling, watching games, enjoying. Great energy, great stories, great adjustments, and big-time wins and big-time performances. So what you expect with playoff basketball, we got that and more.
Pops, I got to take a second, man, because I know you got to be tired. I got to let the viewers know we are not playing. We watching all of these games. We focused and zoned in. So I'm asking right now that y'all go like, comment, subscribe, say something for us because we putting that work in for y'all. So I just had to take a moment and make sure because I've been watching. I ain't been seeing as many comments as usual. I need y'all to heat it up down there, all right? Let's go, man.
Way to put pressure on them.
That's all I'm saying, man. Everybody see my smile and I'm the nice guy. Now, like and comment, subscribe right now. Nah, man. But all right, here we go. Before we get into the games, I want to touch on the postseason awards that the NBA came out with recently. So they came out with 7 categories, including MVP. The finalists came out. It's the Joker, it's SGA, and it's Luka. Simple question. Who's the MVP in your eyes?
It's a great question, and it's not an easy choice. And I'm not trying to be a politician. You can make the case for any one of those guys, and you could be legitimate with the case that you make. But you have to pick one, and my choice would be SGA. You're talking about averaging 32-plus points per game, shooting 54% from the field in an extraordinary Western Conference. He brings a young OKC basketball team and leads them to a number 1 seed. Awfully impressive. And that's my choice. And like I said, it's not an easy one, but I truly believe he deserves it. You think about it. Jalen Brunson had an outstanding year. And SGA averaged 7 more points than him and was number 1 seed in the Western Conference. It's unbelievable what he did over the course of the regular season and the way he led that young basketball team. The future is incredibly bright for them.
Yeah, man. It's black, too. The future is incredibly black, too. SGA, whatever. Nah, but I'm with you. I think SGA is the MVP. That's been my pick. I mean, that's been my guy since early on. I thought his game was incredible. So to see him doing this now, it's impressive, man. That's the MVP.
I will say, I don't mean to cut you off. I will say this: if he wasn't the number 1 seed, I probably would go another direction. But what he was able to accomplish with that team, I think rightfully so, he deserves it.
Yeah, and no discredit to Luka or the Joker because they had amazing seasons as well. But I just think the level that SGA impacts his team, we saw it tonight firsthand. Without SGA on that court, that team is not winning that game, and that's what MVP is about.
No argument here.
All right, man. We on to the next one. We got the Pelicans and Thunder went down to the wire. CJ McCollum goes and throws up a 1-footed 3-pointer. I just got to know, man, was that play good defense or was it a bad play call?
See, here's the problem. When you know your co-host, you don't need to ask that question because that's your shot. That's the type of shot you're taking in that situation. So you can't sit there with a straight face and ask me, what do I think about it?
You think I'm taking that shot?
I've seen you take that shot.
Not the pump fake 1 foot up and under. Like I
No,
heard,
no,
I
but
heard. I don't know. I think it was Kenny that said I like that shot, or somebody said it was a good shot. I don't think that's really a good look.
well, what I will say is it was a tough shot. He lost control of the basketball. It was outstanding defense by Wallace. Uh, Lost control of the ball, grabbed it, and realized the clock was dwindling down, and had to heave up a shot. It looked like it was actually going in. What I didn't like the play call, and the reason why is because you had been getting so much success out of the 1-5 pick and roll, and I would, quite honestly, coming out of the timeout, they bring in Valanciunas for Larry Nance Jr. I'm thinking exactly what my thoughts were. We're going to win this game with a wide open three. I would have went high, 1-5 screen and roll, thrown it back to Valanciunas. The defense is collapsing all game long, hit the shooters on the opposite side, and let's get out of here with a victory. I thought it was perfectly set up for that, and it was a hard-fought game. Two teams that really showed why they're playing this time of year, and a big-time victory by a young OKC team that made plays down the stretch on both sides of the floor, led by the MVP.
I got to give you credit because that's a great coach of mine. Because my natural thought process, I didn't even go to switching the whole play around. I was upset because I thought Brandon Ingram should have got a touch to close out the game. A guy who's 6'8", who is an elite scorer and is able to get to that mid range area. I just expected him to get a shot. But what you just said is true. That's a great. Yeah, I think that would be the best option at the end of a game.
Yeah, I think at the end of this game, now that don't mean the next game I'm going to decide the same thing because I
Yeah.
thought Brandon Ingram was having a tough time getting his body off of Lou Dort. Lou Dort did a great job defending him, being physical with him, so I wouldn't have went that way. I thought they were getting great offense and quality looks off the high screen and roll. You think about it, Larry Nance could have won the game if it wasn't for a great play by Chet with the block shot off that 1-5 pick and roll, throw back in the paint, wide open shot. So they got great offense off of it, and they went away from it when it mattered most, the biggest part of the ball game.
Yeah, great game, man. Great game. No injured star Zion Williams for the Pels. So was that game more about what was right with New Orleans or about what was wrong with the Thunder?
No, it tells you that if Zion Williamson was in uniform and healthy, it very well could be a totally different series. What you don't think about is that takes Lou Dort pretty much off of Brandon Ingram, and he defends Zion Williamson to try to contain him and use his body to stay in front of him. Now Brandon Ingram has a guy that has similar size to him that he's able to utilize his own strength and skill and versatility to be more of a scorer. And then you got to deal with now Zion and Valanciunas on the boards. We saw what Valanciunas did all game long, dominating the boards, being a handful for Chet. One thing about the OKC, Chet is their only legitimate big guy. They go with Williams, which he gave him big minutes down the stretch, giving him a breather. But Chet is the only legitimate 7-footer on that team playing minutes. So they can be exposed to that extent. So they miss Zion, but it's going to be a long series. And I think both teams have the ability to score. I think both teams at times tonight settled with three-point shots. I look to make adjustments, put your head down at times, turn down some shots, and keep pressure on the defense. But it's an exciting series and two teams with tremendous futures.
Anything else from the game stand out to you?
Yeah, the thing that stood out to me is I love watching Shea. We talk about him MVP, we give him props, but here's what I love about him. He was struggling. And I could see people at home saying, that's not the MVP, that's not the MVP. But he did what MVP players do. Cancel out the noise. They're at their best when the lights are brightest. And a struggling night, a struggling possession, a bad shot don't affect them. He made big plays down the stretch. The biggest play getting the N1, carried his team to victory. And then you look at the post-game interview. It wasn't him standing there talking to the reporter. He brought his whole crew, the whole team. We did this together. It sounds corny, but those are the little things that you have to pay attention to. That's a tied-together team that's dangerous.
Yeah, I love that. I think two things that stood out in the game for me is the first thing that I noticed is, and I've noticed this early in the season, but I got to give a shout out. Lou Dort, It was a time when they begged for him to shoot. They would leave him open. And the fact of seeing dudes close out and run out to him like he's a knockdown shooter, it's just a credit to the work that he's put in and how he's enhanced his game. It was shocking to me to see, like, man, I remember watching playoff series where they were leaving him wide open and making him out to seem to be just the defender guy. And to see his game develop is amazing.
You're right. You put the time in. The benefit that you have and the luxury that you have in the NBA is you got a gym 24 hours a day. Whether it's fingerprints, whether it's a key, you can get in there anytime you want. So there's no excuse to be a bad shooter or stay a bad shooter. Give Lou Dort credit. They defended him that way. They dared him to make shots. They never challenged him at the three-point line, never challenged him shooting a jump shot. He made himself better and made himself a boatload of money because he's a top-notch defender. And now all of a sudden, he's a knockdown shooter. And I want to give credit also to Jalen Williams, the job he did. He is an underrated basketball player. I saw him, I forgot where I saw him. Oh, the NBA Finals last year. He is legit 6'8", 6'9". Tremendous size, strength, versatility. He is an outstanding basketball player, and he's going to make a lot of money and be around for a long time to come also. But I love his swag. I love his confidence. And I love it alongside of SGA. He's another guy that's not afraid to take and make big plays. Remember in Madison Square Garden early in the year, he won the basketball game in an isolation situation against the New York Knicks in the Garden.
Another thing that stood out in the game was everybody makes it out to seem that the strong NBA, the strong centers are historic or antiquated. But we're watching big centers impact the game. And I watched Valanciunas tonight impact the game. And it made me realize, as much as we look at unicorns like Wemby, like Chet, and say, wow, this is the future of the NBA, we're seeing that, okay, these centers that are big and play in the post are also the future too. I don't see any time where they're going to go out of style.
I agree. You make sure you have the right one, and there's plenty of room on the dance floor for the big man. They're invited to the dance floor. And what you saw Valanciunas do today is dominate on the boards, dominate in the paint. He can stretch to the three-point line. You don't want a big guy that is a liability that teams can play small and don't have to worry about paying the price by playing small. If you play small against Valanciunas, he's going to dominate in the paint. He's going to put pressure on you. He's going to be physical. He's going to set great screens and dive. He's going to force you to make adjustments. That's the type of big man that you need in 2024 and moving forward.
Let me ask you, did you see SGA's outfit?
No, I did not.
You didn't see it? Oh man, you gotta hop on X and go look at it. He had
you co-signing it?
Yeah, I like that fit. That was fire.
Oh, he's a guy that's well connected with the fashion world and doesn't disappoint with his outfits. So
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I gotta give a thumbs up for his fit.
Yeah, let me give him a thumbs up for the fit.
Did you see Zion? Did you see Zion's fit though?
Yes, I did.
What do you think about Zion's fit?
Zion, he could have been a co-host for us. He had on a hoodie. I mean, what you want?
Nah, man, I wasn't really feeling his fit. That dude came like he just hopped out of bed.
What was with the wings on the hoodie though?
That boy was just like a warlock. He looked like a Power Ranger supervillain. I thought he was
Shout out Zion. Get healthy soon, man. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, man. All love for Zion. All love for Zion. All right, no Giannis, no problem for the Bucks. How were they able to take the Pacers out like that, blow out fast, and they cooked them?
No secret. Dame Dollar. You know what time it is. Dame put the team on his back and set the tone in the first half. Don't tell me about he didn't score in the second half. That's irrelevant. The game was in hand, and they took care of business. He put the team on his back, in his words, minus their best player in Giannis Antetokounmpo. Did a great job of setting the tone, being aggressive, and he looked like the Dame that we fell in love with in Portland. That's the way he's got to play when Giannis comes back healthy and whole. I'm not looking to feel my way into the game. No, make your presence felt and known. And the key to that game to me wasn't just Dame. It was a welcome sight if you're a Milwaukee Bucks fan. Middleton played like the Middleton when they won a championship. aggressive, a guy that can play out a two-man game, a guy that can run offense through, a guy that can isolate, looked healthy and whole, and looked like they made the right decision by not putting a big demand on his body in the regular season. He showed up. Now the thing is, can he continue that and continue to play with force and continue to be aggressive? So now when Giannis comes back, they have three guys that you got to deal with on the offensive end, along with the outstanding supporting cast.
Yeah, Dame time tonight. Dollar was cooking, man. He was cooking.
He was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was. What was the biggest problem that you saw going on with the Pacers?
They didn't defend. I watched Rick Carlisle's press conference post game, and he was 1,000% correct. He said we were. It was embarrassing the way we came out and played in the first half. Now there's some good things that they can take away with in the second half, but it was embarrassing the way they came out in the first half. They're not a lockdown defensive team. We already know that. 82 game season showed us that they're not a lockdown defensive team. But if you look at the second half of that basketball game, they showed they have the capabilities of at least offering some resistance, which they didn't do in the first half. That's the brand of basketball that they must play. You got some good things. You was able to defend in the second half. You contained Dame Lillard in the second half. Pascal Siakam was outstanding all game long. So you can see if we can get Tyrese Halliburton going offensively, making him a scorer and a playmaker when he's at his best, then all of a sudden we got ourselves a series. But let's not fool ourselves. We must come better prepared, better equipped. We must defend at a high level, compete at a high level. And one thing I like what Rick Carlisle said, we can't use inexperience as an excuse. That's no excuse. We got guys that's played playoff basketball. We fell short. Let's own it. Now let's make the proper adjustment moving forward to game two.
The biggest adjustment to me is I need Halliburton to be more aggressive, man. I need him to. I love how T.J. McConnell came off the bench and attacked, and even though he missed shots, he attacked. I can't have McConnell coming off the bench attacking like that, and then Halliburton on chill mode for majority of the game. I need some of that in his personality when he steps on that court. This is playoff basketball, man. They playing like it's the regular season.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes being a playmaking point guard like myself, you can lose sight of, I got to also score. I'm not a scorer. He's an elite playmaker and he's a big time scorer. I wasn't a big time scorer. So some point you got to put a bug in his ear. You got to impact this game and be aggressive. I thought he was too comfortable, too casual, and he allowed the Milwaukee Bucks defenders to defend him by cooperating, by not having his foot on the gas pedal. He needs to understand by watching film and see how can I affect the game more than I did in game one, and then come out, let your hair down. And when they're at their best, they're playing with great pace and pushing the basketball in transition and then running set offense. The problem was Milwaukee Bucks had their way in the first half, so now all of a sudden you're taking the ball out the net every time and you're running offense as opposed to pushing it. They should push off makes and misses and force the tempo against this shorthanded Milwaukee Bucks basketball team.
Yeah, I'm still taking the Pacers. This was a bad night, but I still got the Pacers coming out on top in this series. I believe that Halliburton will show up next game in a big way. You can't go from throwing up Dame time to what we saw today. That's not it.
I saw the press conference at the end of the game with Doc Rivers also, and he talked about Dame Lillard. He talked about both of them being big boxing fans and how Dame prepares like a great boxer, and he understands when the lights are on and the mano a mano mentality and his approach, and he doesn't disappoint when the lights get brightest. And since we're talking about boxing, we didn't talk about it last night, but I got to give a special shout out to Ryan Garcia, who put on an absolute clinic in dominating Devin Haney in the performance. Special night for him and a tremendous feat, what he was able to accomplish.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. That shot, that threw me for a loop. I didn't think it was going to go down like that. And his swag is on 1 million, as it should be.
Yeah, it was on. I'm glad you said 1 million. It was more than 1,000. But a great night for him and well deserved.
Yeah, definitely. I know he don't get the belt because he missed weight, but still he put that work in. He gets the respect.
The belt doesn't matter. He's going to get the big check and the bigger check now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nah, it's on the way. Who's next? I heard somebody say Boots' name. I heard somebody say, I don't know if he wants that. I, they got to calm down.
Ryan
They got
said
to.
Boots. I think what you do in this situation, you sit back and you make the right decision, the business decision moving forward, and continue to add check after check after check.
Boots is not the right business decision. Boots is not the right business decision. Just all right, man. Oh, before we close this out, do you see the Bucks being able to duplicate this act in Game 2?
I do. I'm picking the Pacers to win the series. I did that beforehand, but I liked it I liked the way that the Bucks came out and the mentality that they displayed on both sides of the floor. Inserting Patrick Beverley in the starting lineup, you lose something offensively, but you gain a tough guy that's willing to do whatever it takes that can frustrate Halliburton all night long. And I think that gives them an edge and a toughness and a competitive spirit that you need come playoff time. And if he's hurting you on the offensive end, then you bring somebody else in. But I think it set the tone for the Bucks, and I think that they certainly can duplicate it.
Another team without their star player, the Clippers. We saw a vintage James Harden tonight and Zubac running a pick and roll. Why were the Mavericks not able to stop that tandem tonight?
They had a tough time defending in the first half. They did a poor job containing Harden. They gave him 3-pointers. They gave him drives. They gave him N1s. It was a breakdown of game plan discipline. They allowed Zubac to attack in the paint, diving off screen and rolls, offensive rebounds, and using that big body and finishing. You think about Zubac. Zubac had elite center numbers. He put on a clinic, and it was special. You know, you think about it, all he's got to do is put himself in position to set great screens. You're talking about James Harden, Paul George, Russell Westbrook. When you get Kawhi Leonard back healthy, set screens. They make the adjustment. Put yourself in position to be ready to catch and finish. It's an easy game for him. Just keep it simple. And it was on full display in Game 1. A big-time win for the Clippers. But it's a nightmare to defend, but you don't defend it individually. You got to have great game plan discipline, and you got to make sure you contain the basketball and rotate to the body of Zubac.
Yeah, if James Harden is playing like this, it's a problem, man. This was a big time show from James Harden tonight. Coming from a guy that has been doubted, this is big.
I mean, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. The thing you gotta realize is you need this James Harden. We've seen this James Harden before, but we've also seen the guy that's a little bit tentative, a little bit passive, that's not shooting as much as you want him to shoot or being aggressive as much as you want him to be aggressive on the offensive end. He's got to stay aggressive and force the issue. When he's at his best, he's scoring, he's facilitating by assisting, and he's also getting the free throw line. And it was a great night for the Clippers.
With their team, the makeup of it with Paul George, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, is it easier to hide the fact that we don't have our best player?
Yes, no question. I mean, if you take one of the singers out of We Are the World, you still got a band full of elite singers. I mean, at the end of the day, no Kawhi Leonard. You got 3 first ballot Hall of Famers still in uniform. I don't think anybody else can say that. 3 first ballot Hall of Famers in uniform without Kawhi Leonard. So they have more than what it takes to allow him to rest, recover, and then come back as close to 100% as possible. They took care of business. And I don't think Russell Westbrook gets enough credit. You think the spirit of which he goes about competing, the challenges that he's taken, the competitiveness that he goes about. If I got to guard Luka, I got Luka. I'm going to frustrate him. I'm going to get under his skin. I'm going to attack him. And then I'm going to play with confidence. It's inspiring. And what it does is his mentality becomes contagious, and it forces other guys to adopt or adapt the same mentality, or they're going to get exposed. And I think the players that play with him and the coaches that have coached him absolutely love him.
First ballot Hall of Famer also, man. He gonna be up there.
There's no doubt. Without a doubt.
Let me ask you, what must the Mavericks do to adjust moving into Game 2?
Well, the adjustment for the Mavericks is a little simple. They've got to defend better to start the ball game. And then you got great performances from Luka and from Kyrie. But the supporting cast was AWOL. It was missing in action. When they've been at their best during the course of the regular season, it was Luka, it was Kyrie, it was the big setting screens, diving finish at the rim. It was the three-point shooters shooting the basketball. The wings got involved in transition. They were clicking on all cylinders. We saw none of that in game one. They've got to be aggressive to take the pressure off of Luka and Kyrie to be special every single possession. Those guys got to be ready to take and make big-time shots and also set screens, dive, and attack the rim. I think they fell short of that in game one. But the bottom line is they are equipped to win this series. I picked them to win this series. Great performance by the Clippers. But if you're Dallas, they won game one. Let's make the adjustments. Just like we talked, it's going to be, we're not breaking new ground with how you win playoff games. When you lose, make the adjustments, get back to your principles, get back to your identity, and then move forward. And if you win, stay true to it, tweak some things, and then handle your business.
So who you got in the second game? I need a pick.
I'm going to go with Dallas in the second game. I believe that Jason Kidd is going to make the right adjustments. I think that we will see Luka and Kyrie continue to play at an elite level. And I think the bigs of Dallas, I think Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to be better. I think overall they're going to have a better night and be ready, locked and loaded offensively to impact the game with their role players.
Yeah, man. Kyrie, by the way, silky smooth, man. Even though they lost tonight, watching his game, that dude is tough.
You know who else is tough? You called it years ago, Paul George. He made some big-time shots and some big-time plays. It doesn't bother him who you put on him because he has great size. He's crafty, can shoot the mid-range, can shoot the three, can finish at the rim. He is a special offensive weapon.
That dude got game, man. It's gonna be a great series. I'm excited.
Absolutely.
In the first game on Sunday, the Celtics took care of business with a win over Miami. But I got to ask you, at the end of the game, Jayson Tatum almost got taken out of midair. Was that a message being sent or just a good defensive play?
Listen to Jayson Tatum. The question was asked to him. He said, that's just playoff basketball. I don't want to overreact. Martin wasn't doing anything dirty. The momentum took him into the body of Jayson Tatum. Tatum gets up. Jaylen Brown does the right thing, checks Martin. They get into a little bit. Okay, that's playoff basketball. You got my juices flowing. It's playoff basketball. It's what you expect this time of year. Let's not get out of character. Let's not get frustrated. Continue to execute the assignment and don't get off of our game. And that's exactly the message that Tatum delivered. And I don't think anything dirty was done, was intentionally done on that play. Fortunately, nobody got hurt and they moved on.
Now, the Heat, even though they trailed for most of the game, they did cut it down to 14 eventually. Did you see anything that should be concerning for the Celtics?
I saw the Heat being more effective in the second half offensively. The one thing I look for, if you're Eric Spoelstra, you got to find a way with no Jimmy Butler, with no Terry Rozier. You got to find a way to get Tyler Hero going. Pick and roll action, play with pace, get him off ball. Because he's being defended by elite defenders, Derek White and Jrue Holiday. And if you don't have one of them, then you got, Jaylen Brown defending him. So you got elite defenders, no matter where you look, defending you. They've got to find a way to get them some space and get them going. Then all of a sudden, when you get them going, it doesn't matter who's defending him. He's a world beater then. But you got to find a way to establish some momentum by getting him going via pick and roll, via pace, or via coming off down screens in attack mode, catching the basketball off of action. But that's the one thing I would be concerned about if I was the Celtics. Let's make sure we continue to do the job on Hero, the one guy that can create all sorts of havoc all around the floor. And then, Bam Adebayo played very well. You got to make sure you don't allow him to take over the game. So good at creating offense for Tyler Hero because he's a big that can initiate offense by bringing the ball up the floor. You want to limit the damage that he's able to do also.
Yeah, if I'm the Heat, the biggest adjustment that I'm making, and this will set everything straight, if they make this adjustment, is calling the nearest travel agent. because it's only a matter of time before the season is over. And they need to get the best price on these flights because the kids need tickets first class, the wives need tickets, and they need to get it ready because it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I'm sorry.
Two
I'm sorry,
things.
man.
You're so disrespectful. This is the Miami Heat. This is the Miami Heat. A championship culture that competes and never says die. They have more than enough to find a way to make this a serious and make this interesting. The second thing is, in 2024, these dudes don't have to call and worry about the ticket prices. They're straight. They're straight. The money they're making, they can handle the prices.
I feel that. I feel that. All right, man. We need Coach Mark right now. You already know what time it is. We need to look at Monday night's game. Are you ready?
I stay ready.
All right. Here we go. What is Coach Mark's pregame message to the Lakers since they can't afford to go down 2-0 against the Nuggets?
My pregame message to the Lakers is, I already talked to Anthony Davis. I already put a request in. I already asked you to either play Nikola Jokic to a draw or win the battle, and we'll be fine. Anthony, you did that in game one. Congratulations. We appreciate it. But now I got another request, and I got a promise. I got a promise that if D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves win their battle in the backcourt between Jamal Murray and KCP, we'll win this series. You fell short in game one, which is okay. I need you to be better. I need you to be in attack mode, and it's not asking too much for you to win the battle. We are the better basketball team, even though we didn't show it. It wasn't on display in game one. We own that. But now let's handle our business and come out of here 1-1.
I like that. I feel that right there. All right.
You think about it. Jamal Murray is a better basketball player than D'Angelo Russell. That's no disrespect. On paper, he's a better basketball player. But D'Angelo Russell can outplay him in a game, in a series, because he has elite offensive tools, and you got to put a request and a demand on D'Angelo Russell to be better and take the challenge.
I feel that. I know that's right. All right, I need you to come with me real quick. We going to the next one. We in Madison Square Garden. We walking down the hallway. I turn to the locker room. Is that Coach Jackson out here? He's speaking to the Knicks. What is he saying to prepare them for game two?
I'm keeping it simple. I'm telling them 20,000 folks will be in the arena. Every big-time rapper will be in the arena. Every big-time actor will be in the arena. Every big-time singer will be in the arena. Millionaires and billionaires will be sitting courtside. And guess what? They're going to be there to see you. No, rewind, remix, because I'm part of this team. They are coming to see us. Let's not disappoint. Let's make sure we leave here the hardest working team in the business by competing at a high level, defending at a high level, and being 2-0 lead in this series. Let's not disappoint. The lights are waiting.
Bring it in. That was good. I feel that. I like that one. That was good. All right. So how about we're going to do something new. We're going to start giving a nightly award for whoever the best player for that day was, man. So we're going to call it the Mama There Goes That Man Award. All right?
I like that.
So let me know, man. Who gets that award?
The first award of the Mama There Goes That Man goes to Dame Dollar.
It's time.
Dame Dollar. 35 points in the first half. We talked about setting the tone. So many people, including us, picked the Pacers to win the series. The Milwaukee Bucks needed life in the absence of their best player, and Dame Dollar showed what time it is by responding and answering the call. 35 points in the first half. Wins him the very first Mama There Goes That Man award.
Dollar. I know that's right, man. All right, speaking of dollar, we got to keep the lights on and pay the bills. Shouts out to Underdog Fantasy. Scan the QR code in the corner, and it'll take you right to the site. Play the pick'em game. That's our favorite. We appreciate y'all, man.
That does it for this episode of Night Mode, the Mark Jackson Show. My guy, Bluu. I'm Mark Jackson. We thank you for the love and support. Continue watching. Remember, It's a guy by the name of, forgive me if I pronounce it wrong, Im Dung Hyun. He's South Korean. He's a 2-time gold medalist in the Olympics. He also is the world record holder in archery. Archery, which you need precision, accuracy, and vision. Oh, did I mention to you that he's legally blind? That 20/20 is perfect vision. He sees 2100 in one eye and 2200 in the other eye and still found a way to get it done. I ask you, what are you waiting for? No more excuses. You have everything you need to get it done. Blessings.